Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Politics Now. We're talking about modern politics and modern America. And today, we're going to be looking at why Trump is pretty much guaranteed to win the nomination. I mean, there's nothing really coming up and no major indictments or arrests that are actually going to have any effect on him. And at this rate, he's pretty much the nominee. There's no real change for that. And unless something extremely devastating comes up, then he is going to be the nominee. There's no walking around that, and he's likely to win. So, yeah, let's get into that. So, Trump is polling pretty good. He's just sitting up there at around 55. He's been there for a little bit, and he doesn't seem like he's going to go down. More likely than not, he's going to go up in the next few days because of the arrest, the mugshot, all of that crap. Once the polls come out for that, I'm pretty sure that he's going to go up in the polls. And a lot of these other people, their debate performances, and the fact that a lot of the debate overall was pretty underwhelming because it wasn't like the 2016 debate where you had real entertainment and a lot of people just completely destroying their campaign. It's more so just a bunch of people listing off pre-recorded lines and basically it's like they looked at a script and then the questions were on the script and they had scripted answers and they just said that for 30 seconds and then moved on. It was a very boring debate, and without Trump there, it that's pretty much how debates feel without Trump there. It's extremely stilted and extremely boring. And if this is the Republican Party after Trump serves his second term or loses the election, then the Republican Party is dead. No one is going to watch a debate where people are just reading off scripted sentences of, yes, low taxes. Like like any like any Republican voter is going to care about that. Uh, I watched the Republican debate. I hope they talk about taxes. It's not like that's pretty much the most fundamental thing that comes with Republican nominee is that you want low taxes. There's nothing special about that. Nobody cares that you say that you're going to increase low taxes. That's pretty much Republican doctrine ever since the Republican Party began, is low taxes and small government. That's the foundation. You expect that from all of them. So saying that is not special at all. People want to hear the the current issues. No one is talking right now and thinking, "Man, my number one issue is all these taxes. I I really want a candidate who can offer me lower taxes and that's it." No one cares about that. They want to hear the social issues, they want to hear foreign policy, and they want to hear the about the arrest and indictments. That's what they want to hear about. So, the fact that pretty much all of them just sat there and read off their pre-recorded script of low taxes, Trump bad, we want 2012 Republican Party. All of that crap was extremely boring to watch, and if Ramaswamy was in there, no one would watch that. A lot of people who like Trump, they watched it for Ramaswamy because he's sort of the B tier version of Trump. He brings some of that energy, but still, a lot of the debate was a lot of these other people who, more so than not, sounded like an AI, and they read off their pre-recorded script. Sometimes they would start actually debating because it's a debate, and then the moderators would shut it down immediately. So, given that, and given the fact that no one really had an exceptionally bad night, they just sort of stood there and did nothing. I don't really expect a lot of these other people to significantly rise or fall in the polls. Ramaswamy might rise, a lot of these other people might fall a little bit, but Trump is the winner of that night. Trump, he beat Fox News at their own game, and he had a great night. He had the arrest and the mugshot, which is probably going to bump him up in the polls. So Trump really wins in the end. And DeSantis, the second runner, he is not doing good. And that debate performance, man, that did not go well. He didn't do anything. He did basically nothing. The entire time, he was just standing there, and when he would be attacked, He didn't really respond at all. And man, he was boring. He didn't do anything. He was just so boring. He made the debate so boring. He could have been the front runner. He could have had everything, and he just made it so unbelievably boring. And that was confirmation that he is not the new Trump. He's not the Florida Trump. He is the generic Republican who sounds like an AI and only talks about taxes and doesn't talk about actually important stuff. And all they want to do is get money from their donors and not actually talk about serious issues. That's what DeSantis is. That's what he represents. And that's what pretty much all of these candidates represent. They represent that generic Republican who is a total neocon and only cares about low taxes and doesn't actually talk about social issues. So you have all of these generic Republicans just standing on a stage talking about generic crap and sounding so monotone for almost an hour, over an hour, and watching that was just painful. Ramaswamy, he's the only entertaining part, and that's why most people agree he was the best part of the night, is the fact that, he's the one with actual personality and actually talks about important issues outside of low taxes and screw Trump, because no one wants to hear about that. They want to hear about, what is your plan on immigration? What is your plan on abortion? How are you going to defeat Biden? That is the important stuff that they should be talking about, but they're not. And that way, now they're just going to sit where they are. Chris Christie, he's at 2.7. He's probably going to stay there. Tim Scott, he didn't really talk, and he might fall because Nikki Haley also had a relatively good night, as in she talked a lot and she was a major front runner in the debate, and it really helped her out. So she'll probably go to 4 or maybe 4.5 if she's lucky. Mike Pence didn't do anything really. Uh, he talked a lot, but he didn't really help himself. He had a major fallout and he just completely destroyed everything. He's already completely destroyed his campaign, but yeah, that was really a death blow, and I don't really see him rising. He might just stay where he is because he's at 4 points. There's not much that he can lose. He might go to 3% or 2%, but he's not doing that good, so there's not really much for him to lose. And Ramaswamy, he's probably going to hit double digits by the start of the primary, and DeSantis, he's likely going to hit single digits by the start of the primary because he is not doing well at all. He isn't doing anything exceptionally bad, but he's also doing nothing exceptionally great. And because of that, and the fact that he is sort of now viewed as a Republican NPC by a lot of these Trump voters who used to like DeSantis, but no, they definitely don't now. They just don't like him. He's just a NPC now. He can't debate properly, and he did absolutely no prep for the debate. He just stood there and sat and read off his pre-recorded lines, and it was just terrible. It was terrible for DeSantis, and he's not going to rise. He's not going to fall. He didn't really do anything, and a lot of people, they'd rather have the entertainment of you completely destroying your credibility rather than you just standing there like an NPC and reading off your script. That No one likes that. No one is going to watch a 2-hour primary debate just to watch you read a script. No one cares about that. And looking at his favorability polls, he's not doing well at all. I mean, he is not doing great ever since he announced. He has had a rising and a rising unfavorable rating, and now it's nearing 50%. I wouldn't be shocked if it went over 50%, and his favorability rating, it's hitting 30, and it it wouldn't be a surprise if it hits in the high 20s because he is increasingly unliked and unpopular because he's turned his back on the Trump voters who also like DeSantis, and he's completely given up on those people. He's gone fully in with all the neocons, and he's become the generic Republican, and there's not a lot that he can do to wipe away that after he loses the nomination, because he's tried so hard, so desperately hard, just to be a generic Republican and be like Tim Scott, Chris Christie, Mike Pence. He wants to be them so bad and win their votes so badly that he is willing to completely destroy his reputation just to be like that. And, well, it's not going that well. 14 points up for unfavorable rating. That is not good at all, and it's likely not going to go down. So, yeah, good job finding public office after this, because you're likely not going to get it. So, DeSantis, he's not doing good. If you compare him to Biden, even Trump versus Biden, it's relatively close. And given the fact that it's Trump, who really never does well in the polls, even when he won in 2016, he was not doing well in the general election polls. He's doing pretty good given that. And given the fact that it's an incumbent president and it's only a 1.4 point difference, that is fairly decent. Now, compared to DeSantis, DeSantis is doing absolutely horrible against him. 5.3 point spread. That is awful. That isn't even within the margin of error. That's almost the same point that Joe Biden was at when he was up against Donald Trump in 2020. That is insanely bad. That is absolutely awful. If new polling came out after the debate and after his favorability and his poll numbers have dropped very, very rapidly, it's likely that it would be at the same level as 2020 Joe Biden against Trump when the election happened. That is not good if you want to win an election. And the general election hasn't even started. We're still in primary season. The first debate just wrapped up. How are you this low this early on? The primary hasn't started. The general election has no chance of starting this soon. And I mean, there's an argument that Trump is beating DeSantis so bad that the general election is unofficially on, but even if DeSantis were to win the nomination, he still has the fact that he's losing to Biden by a very, very wide majority, and in the poll numbers, he's doing very, very bad against Trump and Biden. So, if he wants to win the nomination, he needs to make a major change fast, because given the trends that are happening in the polls, especially against Trump, he's not going to win the nomination, and he's going to fall to single digits and not win any state. Zero states, not even Florida, not Utah, not New Hampshire, none of these states. He's going to win none of them. And Trump is going to win every single one of them, and he's going to have a landslide victory, because DeSantis destroyed his reputation, completely appealed to neocons, and just turned his back on what he stood for originally and what made him popular in Florida to begin with. That's what made him popular in Florida, is that a lot of people viewed him as sort of a Trump style politician for Florida, Trump style governor of Florida. And now he's completely destroyed that. And a lot of the skeletons in his closet that he managed to push aside when he became governor, and he managed to brand himself as the Trump governor in Florida, that's been revealed now. His voting record in the House, that's been revealed. The fact that he gets endorsements from Jeb Bush, that has also been revealed. And his early campaign, where Trump basically needed to save him, that's also been revealed. And it's not going to go away anytime soon, especially if Trump joins the debate and gets to reveal that to everyone who's watching the debate, which, if Trump is on the debate stage, a vast majority of people are going to be watching the debate who wouldn't watch the debate if Trump wasn't there. We've seen this with the Tucker interview, where 10 times as many people watched that interview on Twitter rather than the official Republican debate, because nobody wants to watch a debate without Trump, especially with all these NPCs that pretty much have no personality outside of Ramaswamy. So, if you think Trump could win the nomination, which it's pretty clear that he is going to win, then leave that in the comments below. DeSantis, if you think he can win, I don't know what's wrong with you. Leave that in the comments below. And if you, even if you think Ramaswamy could win, which he's even less likely to win than Trump. He's basically going for a cabinet position. Also, leave that in the comments below. Any of these other people, leave that in the comments below. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.